and welcome from Stockholm Arlanda Airport. This is the journey back to London. Let's go. So just landed at Gatwick Airport and it sure feels great to be back. Not that long in London again because I keep jumping between Stockholm and London, but anyway, it's great to be home for a few days and make the most of it and just have a good time all around. So time to jump on the train, head in the city and see what the city holds in store. Let's go. Yes, that's right, we're in central London now and so good to be back. First thing on the agenda is head home, call it a night, and we're going to regroup this vlog in a couple days. See you then. And we're back. So it's a few days later now and can finally resume the vlog. So I actually just scrolled through old videos just to see where I left off of the vlog, and I realized that previous clip was extremely aggressive. But anyway, the mood's a lot more cheerful tonight. And let's continue the vlog. So, what's been happening over the past few days? Just been stuck at work, and London's had some amazing sunsets this week. And if you're as obsessed as I am with sunsets, and it's an unhealthy obsession by the way, it's really hard because you sat at work, stuck behind your desk, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I need to get out there, grab the camera and catch that sunset. But yeah, then common sense kicks in and you tell yourself, maybe I should rather stay at work, keep a job, and keep a roof above my head. So that's what I opted for in that case, but not tonight. I was stuck at the office, brain was fried, and decided it's time to shut down the computer, get out of here, and start enjoying this beautiful weather. So we're currently on Blackfriars Bridge. I'm about to go and meet my friend Damien, who you'll remember from previous vlogs. I think the last one we did together was the King's Cross vlog actually. So head over to my other videos and check it out if you haven't watched it already, or to remind yourself. So let's go and meet him. Good evening, David.
Hello, good evening.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
So that last clip was a little bit more than I had bargained for. I was just setting out to film a bit of B-roll because it's always cool to get some other photographers doing their thing in London, just as a bit of background B-roll, and yeah, that happened, which is kind of cool anyway. Caught in the moment, I guess. But don't expect Damien and I to be replicating that. Okay, so we've been walking along the south side of a river, just over here, and we've made it to London Bridge. We're on the bridge right now and deciding on our next place to go because we still haven't decided where we want to photograph from. So what do you think, Damien?
Tower Bridge.
Let's
go there.
Tower Bridge is always a classic, can't go wrong. Right here, there it is, and that's where we got to walk to. Let's go. Which side of Tower Bridge should we go on? Should we stay on the north side, or should we stay on the south side rather, or move to the north side?
We'll stay on the south side tonight because of where the sunset is hitting. So let's just stay here on this side.
How did you find out the sun was going to hit that way, other than the obvious, of course? Did you do any research to find out the location?
I just know it. Otherwise, can use the website, SunCalc.
Yeah, you'd recommend that?
I would.
Okay, great.
SunCalc.net, definitely.
So I can definitely confirm what Damien said about the direction of the sunset. Earlier today, I also went on said website, took a look, and it's actually a great tool because it's got Google Maps embedded, and you can set your location anywhere in the world. And then, depending on the time of day and the time of year, shows you exactly which angle the sunset and sunrise will be coming from. So it's a great tool to plan your photography effectively, because that way ahead of time you can do your location scouting, make sure you get the sun perfectly composed behind a landmark or whatever you're shooting from, maybe a mountain, and just makes for better sunset and sunrise images. Go try out the tool yourself and let me know what you think in the comments below. So we finally found our first composition. I'm going to start taking some photos now. So right now the sun's already dipped very low and we're really deep into the golden hour. So we've got a backlit image of Tower Bridge because the sun's actually all the way that way. And because it's backlit, you're getting that beautiful golden tone onto the bridge. And that's what's caught our eye, and that's what we're trying to capture. So let me talk you through why the camera's so high on the tripod. So I got the camera so high on the tripod, and the reason I want it this high is because of this ledge down here. Because I'm using a wide angle, 24mm on my Canon zoom lens. This railing was getting in shot, so by lifting the tripod a bit higher, I could just keep the composition with water and bridge only. So at first I unpacked the tripod because I thought I'd be taking a long exposure, which is my usual go-to, but then I thought, you know what, might be good to mix it up every once in a while and keep the texture of the ripples in the foreground, get the golden light on the bridge, and of course the sky looks pretty good anyway with the layered clouds, so I don't think a long exposure would have done much difference anyway. So without further ado, here's the final image. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Another great shot that's caught my eye is this one right here, the City of London. And what's so great about this shot is, again, it's got indirect light, but this time it's not backlit, it's side lit, because the sunset from here is hitting the sides of the building. So that's creating a very interesting effect, because these windows over here are looking nice and shiny and gold, and the ones on this facing this way are not. So you got a bit of a contrast on the glass, which looks amazing. And again, the golden light's hitting just the facades of these buildings, which looks incredible. So got the tripod set up again, and let me talk you through the shot. So at first I was tempted to go for the HDR technique because the sky is much brighter than the foreground, which is picking up a lot of shadow as well. So bracketing would have got me the sky evenly exposed, as well as some of the buildings, and then I could have merged it in Lightroom afterwards. But then I decided against it in the end, and that's because I was using live view on the back of the camera, and I just looked at the scene, how it was going to be composed, and looked at the exposure I was getting on the screen, and it looked quite evenly balanced already. So that's why I decided to just go for a single exposure. And sometimes that makes for a nicer effect, because HDR, you lose a bit of crispness, it looks a bit hazier, and it's not always the best effect. But with a single exposure, you kind of negate all those factors, and if you shoot in RAW, you've got enough dynamic range to lift these shadows in post-production anyway. So I'm pretty happy with the result, but I want to hear your opinion anyway. Let me know what you think. Here it is. Okay, so we're done with that location and moving further in that direction, because we're done with the backlit shots and the sidelit shots. Now we want to be photographing the sunset head on, because we're reaching peak sunset, and of course we want Tower Bridge in the background, so we got to move to the other side of the bridge to get that shot just right. And by the way, the most awkward interaction just happened. These two tourists asked me to take a photo of them, and I was like, yeah, sure. They passed me their camera, and I'm like, no, rather just pass me the memory card. I'll pop it in my camera, and then I'll get some proper photos of you guys. I thought I was just doing them a favor, and photos did turn out pretty good, if I do say so myself. But yeah, they looked at me a bit bewildered, and it was just a bit awkward, because I guess it was a bit more than they had bargained for, but hope the photos made up for them afterwards. So at last we've made it to the location we were talking about earlier in the vlog, and here it is. Got Tower Bridge in the background, and the camera can't show it now, but got the sunset blazing away behind it. And Damien, what do you think of this place? Did it go according to plan?
Perfectly. We've got beautiful tones behind us. The lights are on along the promenade as well,
which makes for some beautiful leading lines.
Yeah. As
well as with this railing, which is obviously key in our composition.
Brings you straight to the bridge, and it's going to look great.
Switch to the front camera to expose for the background better, because I'm actually shooting on an iPhone on a gimbal, so the dynamic range is a lot more limited than with my full frame camera, but now you should be able to see it a lot better. So here's those beautiful tones we kept raving on about. The leading lines from the lanterns and the leading lines from the railings. And this is the setup we're going with. I've actually changed lens, switched over to my 35mm prime from Zeiss. And this time around I did opt for bracketing and taking 7 shots at different exposures for that exact reason. One, to get the sky properly exposed, and then also to get the foreground properly exposed. And after I've taken those 7 shots at different brightnesses, I'm going to merge them in post-production, use the HDR technique, and then we should get that perfectly exposed picture from top to bottom. So here it is. Let me know what you think. So the sun's set already, and we're just getting that last bit of glow, a little bit of orange left on the horizon. That's what I'm trying to capture now. And so the last shot I did in the HDR technique, like I had explained. And for this one I thought I'd try something a little bit different, because I actually just got new filters yesterday and I was very keen to try them. So let me show those to you, and let me talk you through what they intended to do, and then we'll take a look at the results and see if the filters lived up to the test. So these are the 2 filters I bought from Nisi, and it's a soft graduated 3-stop filter, and just tucked in behind it I've got a 6-stop filter. So usually I shoot with a 10-stop filter during the day, but the 6-stop filter is slightly weaker, and you can use it just before sunrise, during sunrise, sunsets, so it's a little bit better to get the exposure when it's a bit darker, and you can still do long exposures without the photo turning out completely black, because the ND filter was too strong. So kept the composition the same as in the previous shot, and went into bulb mode because of a long exposure, and I exposed for 2.5 minutes at f11 because it's already quite dark. So here's the final result. I hope you like it. So we just crossed Tower Bridge and we're done shooting for today. So cheers to another great photography session.
Cheers.
Caught an amazing sunset, of course. And are you happy with your shots, Damien?
Very happy.
Do check out Damien. I'll link him in the description below, @ShotsDR on Instagram. And most importantly, hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did,
make sure to give it a like, a comment, and if you don't already, subscribe.
See you in the next episode, guys. Good night.